please sit down. So happy to see you finally. We've been talking on the phone. Right, well, welcome to our office. This is your first official wedding planning session. Are you excited? A little nervous? It's completely normal. Let me just actually pull up your file. Yeah, you showed me your Pinterest as well. It was gorgeous. I'll just pull that up. Do you want something to drink? Yeah, we have a menu. There you go. No, it's completely complimentary to this consultation, of course. So, okay, here we go. I'll just set that aside. The pink drink. Great. Hey, Amy, can we just have one of those pink drinks, the new one? Yeah. Great, thanks. Yeah, it'll be right up. So, as I said, this will be our first consultation on your wedding. Congratulations. So, today we won't be delving into the details as much. This is mostly to just relax you so that you get the feeling that everything's under control, everything will go great. So not so much the logistics of the wedding, just more so that we get the general idea of what you are looking to get, what kind of a wedding you want to have, as well as what other parts of the whole wedding process you want us to participate in planning. Great. So could you just confirm the date of your wedding for me? Okay. Yeah, so it's coming right up, but we do have plenty of time, so not to worry. If I understood correctly, you already had your engagement party. Yes, okay. Actually, I'll write that down. Oh, here's the drink. Thank you. It's a warm day today, so yeah, the color is gorgeous. I'll set this aside for you. There you go. You can sip on that as we speak. Of course, it's completely alcohol free. So, like I said, before we go into the aesthetic and your Pinterest board and your ideas for the wedding, I'd like to just briefly go over the range that you'd like us to participate in. Like I said, for example, are you looking to have a bridal shower? Yes. How about a bachelorette party? Yes. And a rehearsal dinner? Yes. Okay. Would you like us to be in charge of planning those as well, or is that something that you'd like to plan yourself? Okay, so full on everything. Yes, and in terms of the execution, we can always act as simply a source for inspiration, for helping you out, offering helpful tips and connections, and then that leaves the execution to you and the groom. Or we can do just all-inclusive, where we are in charge of the planning but also the execution, making sure that everything goes, being the head of production for the wedding. Okay, so the all-inclusive. Yeah. I mean, it is always and it's such a relief to have, someone else in charge of everything, and you can just be the artistic direction. Great. So I'll just book that in the system right away, so we will know moving forward how involved we are in the process. Okay, so as you chose the all-inclusive package, I will be your personal wedding planner. I will be available to you 9 to 5 on work hours. You can shoot me an email, send me a text, anything concerning the wedding or the other parts, and I'll be happy to help you out. So that's part of our deluxe package. Yes, exactly, I know. So let's talk about your dreams. So instead of going right into the specifics and how everything's gonna go, I really just want to get to know you and what you are hoping to get from this wedding. So, for example, what is the first thing that comes to mind when you think of your wedding? Okay, so pastels, right? Floral, okay. Of course, yeah. I mean, it is the guests and the sort of the social aspect that plays such an important part when planning a wedding. In the end, it's the memories that we make, and it's just such a great experience. Being all your loved ones being present and being able to celebrate your love with them. Yeah, that's such a sweet sentiment. Okay, speaking of your family and friends, how many guests are you looking to invite? Okay. Yeah, I figured since you already had the engagement party that you were sort of had a rough draft of the guest list. Once we get to the actual planning part, I think invitations are the first thing that we need to think about, since we are on a schedule. I'm not saying we're in a hurry, we totally have all the time to plan the perfect wedding for you, but we do need to start thinking of the invitations. And for that purpose, it's nice to know what your aesthetic is going to be, because actually the invitation is the first sign of what is the theme of this wedding. So you said pastels and floral. When you say pastels, do you think of bright, colorful, what is very stylized pastels and florals, or more so down to earth? I don't want to say messy, but just more of a rural aesthetic. Okay. Victorian. So like Victorian era cottagecore. Okay. Yes, you definitely don't have to worry about that. So one thing that we specialize in here at our boutique is definitely planning a wedding and executing it in a way that is personal to you and your partner. Because what I see often with wedding planners is that they have a personal style that is, specific to them, and then they execute that over and over again, and you lose the sort of connection to what is important and personal to the couple themselves. So we definitely want to focus on what is important to you, what you want to highlight and bring up about your relationship. Do you have a venue already booked? Okay, but you've been thinking of... Yes, I know that place. It's so gorgeous, and I think think, speaking of like cottage core, sort of laid back, floral pastel aesthetic, that would suit so nicely with the old renovated buildings. Yeah, but they have that gorgeous wood structure in the ceiling. I've actually planned a few weddings that have taken place there, but actually they were a totally different theme. But for this one, I think that would work great. But that's something that we gotta get on right away. But you can leave all the worrying to me. I'll figure out a way to get that venue. And if not, I do have a few options that I think are kind of similar. I can send you all the info afterwards. Great, okay. So that is quite a large venue, but considering the amount of people you are planning to invite, I think it would work great. Now, is the guest list mostly friends and family, or is there maybe another social circle from which you are inviting guests? Okay, that's how you two met. That is so sweet. So from that, you're gonna invite some people. Is that still something you guys are active in? Yeah, that's such a fascinating hobby. And a nice way to make connections as well. Okay, so now that I have a general idea of what you are looking to get for your wedding, we can talk about the bachelorette party and bridal shower later on. Is there something else that you already have plans? Maybe you've already hired a photographer, or you have a dress, something that you just happen to have already planned, so that I know if there are any parts that we don't have to start planning. Okay. So the photography is gonna be your cousin, okay? And I assume that they have some kind of background in photography. Okay, that's good to know. I mean, sometimes people tell me that, a relative has offered to take the pictures, and then I always worry about them not turning out the way that the couple wanted to, since wedding photography is a really demanding task, and I do want to make sure that the photos are going to be just as spectacular as the wedding. Okay, so he's definitely a professional then. Can I just have his information? Okay, just hold on a second. Okay. And then his work email or website or... Oh, okay. Great. Well, fantastic. Then that's one thing already squared away. Now, while that I have my iPad here, maybe we should take a look at your inspiration Pinterest board. Yeah, it was really great for getting the general image that you have in mind for the wedding, and it definitely reflects what you just told me as well. So I'm seeing a lot of that cottage aesthetic, stylized and full of gorgeous details, but not too luxurious. Yeah, that sort of general wedding aesthetic that's been in fashion for years. There's some dress inspiration as well. That's great. Shopping for a wedding dress is a very personal process, but we do like to keep in touch throughout that as well, and we can recommend you some wedding dress boutiques that you might like to visit. Okay, but what I'm seeing is a lot of different kinds of pastels, so just so that I can start gathering maybe a more detailed inspiration board, and something that is actually sort of narrowing down what you want at the wedding. Are you thinking more of that like soft pink pastels, maybe green and yellow, blue, pink? When you would think of your wedding, is there something that comes to mind? Okay. Let's see if I have that style here. Yeah, I think those like dusty pastels with a hint of grey, so not like the bright like baby room colors, although those can be gorgeous as well. But I'm thinking, since you're gonna have your wedding in the spring, when we get that sort of first splash of color, but it's still, we're in that colder season, maybe like the most brightest neon pastels are not the option. What do you think of these? Yes, maybe this shade is not suitable for the wedding. Let's see. But I think this dusty purplish pink is absolutely gorgeous, as well as these two blues. Then this nude is maybe a little bit of a wild card, but considering that rural aesthetic, maybe like tablecloths in this color, or flower vases, or small details like that. You'll think about it. Okay, let's see. So these three colors maybe. Yes, and we can of course bring back the pink. I just thought maybe purple would be a sort of softer color that works well in multitude of details. I actually do have here, I was just sending, this is just a sample pack of fabrics for another bride that had a full-on pink theme for her wedding. She does have this like Victorian old style lace, which I think could work for your wedding as well. But here you can see well the contrast. Like this is definitely more dusty, old pink, and then here we have like a hot pink, super bright, definitely not pastel. So between these two, leaning towards this is definitely the way to go. Okay. So moving forward, we will start with the big sort of lines, getting all the most important things like the invitations, booking the venue, scheduling dates for the bridal shower, and locking those kinds of things in place. And then we will get to the fun part, which is just finding the style for your wedding. Like, what is the theme? What kind of activities do you want to have? What kind of food are we going to serve? There is so much to get into. We will obviously help you with choosing your hairstyle, your makeup, like I said, the dress shopping as well. My assistant will send you an email with all the details that I wrote down during this session, and you can just go over them, see if there is anything you'd like to add or remove, and she will help you schedule the next appointment. Yes, and like I said, you can always send me a message, shoot me an email whenever you have any questions. But I hope that this a consultation just cleared your head a little bit, help you relax about the wedding. I know, even though it is so fun to start thinking of like the actualities of like what you want your wedding to be, it can also be very stressful. Great, I'm so happy to hear that. Well, I'll see you in our next consultation. I hope you have a lovely day. Thanks.